right, hey everybody, it's Jason Shadrig with Premier Guitar, and we are at the Winter NAMM show in Anaheim, and we're at the Kemper booth. You were hearing Thomas there in the intro, and I'm here with Christoph Kemper himself, and we are at the show. You brought a couple new cabs and the long-requested editor that we're going to look at in a second.
Sure.
So, Christoph, tell us a little bit about the idea behind these new cabs you brought.
All right, so we many of you might have seen that we had cabs in the last years. That was all tryouts, but now it's becoming a real product. This is a passive cabinet with a special broadband speaker made by Celestion exclusively for us. And the purpose of that broadband speaker is to play back either full range sound as well as classic guitar speaker sound.
Okay.
And the trick behind that is that the intelligence of that lies in the profiler, not in the speaker and not in the cabinet.
Okay.
So we will later be able to have that speaker available as a replacement part that you can buy and put in your old whatever 4x12 or 2x12.
Yeah.
Right. Change your tires, and that's the idea behind that.
Okay. Yeah. So walk us through and show us some kind of the options you have.
Oh yeah. So this is the experts will see a new page that we've opened up on the profiler. So with that first button, you enable that function. With that button, you say that you're running this speaker and not a generic speaker. There's also known options such as running the whole thing in stereo. There's a bass boost that you can enable once you lift the cabinet. Whenever you lift the cabinet, it'll lose bass, or in other words, when you bring it down to the floor, it will gain bass.
Okay.
So that needs to be adjusted.
Yep.
This can be done with that button. And with this button, you can opt for either going linear or full range.
Oh, right.
Or what people say, FR. I hate that word.
Why is that?
Because it doesn't make too much sense. It's double, full range and flat response is a bit.
It's kind of the same thing?
It's kind of, I would consider it to be the same thing. And that term FR pretends to be something, a specialty that goes beyond linear.
It's all marketing, right? FR. It just sounds good.
Yeah, it's not even marketing. People just say it, and some do it by marketing, some do it because others say that.
Yeah.
So we try not to say FR. So we say full range, which is FR.
And it's a 12-inch speaker, you said?
Yes, it's
12 inch. Okay.
Right. It's a 12-inch speaker, and the nice thing is you can either opt for going linear, and then you would run the internal cabinet simulation as on any digital amp, or you switch off the cabinet by pressing this button. It was just pressed actually, and then the speaker turns into a guitar speaker. It mimics a guitar speaker sound. We call this speaker imprints. And now you have the choice of selecting right now up to 16 different classic guitar speakers.
Okay. So it looks like here we were listening to a vintage 30 speaker, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So what else is in there?
Well, this is actually pretty much it. This is all you need.
Okay.
We have even a fourth control to control the directivity, because then if you have the speaker directly pointed to you, it might be too bright, as every guitar speaker that you would not point to you directly, but you can let it point to you directly, and then bring that sharpness, that balance back by that control, right?
Oh,
this is pretty much it. But let me step through the speakers.
Yeah.
Yes, you will actually hear some switching noise.
Okay.
Because I haven't finished that software yet.
Okay.
In purpose.
But when it's released, it'll be seamless.
Of course, I want to get rid of that, of course. But at that time, because I wanted to leave it in the prototype state for that show, because we will learn some things, and I want to finalize it later.
Yeah.
But we can. So if Tom plays. I will switch to the speakers. I'm very detuned. We tuned that guitar down to D. Probably it doesn't really like that. We've been tuning it for 10 minutes already. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a bright one? Yeah, right.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, that was detuned. Down to D.
So what'll be the pricing and availability on the cabinets, Christoph?
We don't. Price is to be announced later,
Okay.
probably after the show, and we don't have figures yet how long it'll take to make the cabinet. But I can say the whole development is done already.
Okay.
The speaker is there. It might need some more modification, and we have to go into production.
Right.
So that
You think summer this year?
yeah, I think it should be summer this year,
okay.
because then it's all like technical or manufacturing issues
Right,
that would delay it. Right? It's not about development anymore. It's all done pretty much. Well, I have to get rid of those crackles that I know about.
Yeah.
But that's not a critical path actually.
So the other thing we're going to talk about is over here on the laptop. Is a lot of people ever since they came out says, "Wow, it'd be really great to be able to edit these patches
Right.
on a laptop and save them and restore them and all that." So you finally released an editor. So tell us a little bit about kind of the story behind the development of this and some of the details.
Yeah, okay. There's not really a big story. We have planned to make an editor. I'd say since years. It was never like a really high priority, but people were really asking for it, and we were happy to make an editor. So we always had plans for that, and now we have a nice team that is caring for that. And one guy of this team is here.
Yep.
Where is he? There he is.
Yes, come on here. All right. So we're here with Georg, who is kind of the main dude in developing the editor. So Georg, tell us a little bit about the story about how this editor came together.
Okay, this editor works. It will be integrated in the upcoming update of the rig manager software. So it will be part of it. You have your rigs. When you select a rig to preview it, it will be automatically loaded in the editor and in the profiler itself.
Okay.
In this row, you will see the signal flow from left to right with your 4 stomp effect slots, your amp section, your 4 stereo effect slots, exactly like it's done in the hardware. So the editor basically is just another view of the hardware to control the hardware, to store and save presets. You can load different effects by opening the menu. We have also a new section in the rig manager software where we have a list of stomp effect presets, and you can just drag and drop them to load them, and they are automatically here. For example, if I'm turning the knobs, you see they will turn on the screen. Of course, the other direction too. And one thing that's nice about the editor is it's very easy to set up the morphing range of the parameters. The morphing range. So we have a feature called morphing, where you can control multiple parameters at once by using your expression pedal. And you can set up the range by pressing the option key, turning a knob.
I see.
And there you see the range that you can actually control by using the expression pedal.
Oh, wow.
So you see it's moving in the editor, it's moving on the hardware. So, and by doing that, you have a much clearer overview about what's going on, because on the computer screen we have much more possibilities to show it than on a little display on the hardware itself.
So will this be a free update in the next?
It will be a free update. The current plan is to release it summer this year. So we are just in discussion about what features will be in the first version or in future updates, but we know that the people are waiting for it for a long time, and we want to release it as soon as possible. And yeah, we think summer will be quite realistic.
Well, thank you so much for showing us.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. This is Jason Shadrick with PremierGuitar.com.